Welcome back to my classroom. It is a beautiful day for a quest. I'm Matt Dominguez. This is another teacher-to-teacher tip, and really this is going to be short and sweet. There's way more information out there on how I teach this and what I do with this, but I think the key thing to help your students understand as you move into your final unit, and whatever you choose to use, if it's not Lord of the Rings, that's fine. I choose Lord of the Rings, is to remember that Act 4 is the finished story of grace, Christ saying, "It is finished, we are sealed for the day of redemption, we are bought with a price, we are adopted, we are in, we are citizens of the kingdom." Act 5 is the unfinished story, which is just as important to remember. Almost paradoxically, carries the same kind of weight. We are still here. To live is Christ. To die is gain. That's taken care of. So to live is Christ. And so the goal of Act 5 is to invite students out of their hobbit hole, right? Invite students on this journey, on this epic adventure quest to bring in the kingdom here on earth as it is in heaven. And so that's the goal. The way that I do this is to help students see their lives as adventure, as quest. More importantly, as journey, because we are all at different places on our journey. And so if we can help students understand that I'm on a journey, you're on a journey, this class is part of that journey, it allows us to extend grace, compassion. It invites us into helping each other on this journey with love and honor and dignity and respect. Are we making this journey harder, or are we helping people on the journey? The other thing that really helps is using a story like Lord of the Rings. It could be Iliad and Odyssey, it could be whatever you want to use, and to allow students to see that on the journey, we not only have an author who's writing this story, we have an author who has entered the story, and we have an author who we get to communicate with as we write the story together with this author. That's its own paradox and its own lesson, but is a super helpful way to end this class that you're heading out. You're on a quest, you're on a journey. And the quest is to love God, love yourself, love others, make disciples, bring in the kingdom. In brief, the teacher-teacher tip is to make sure you help students understand the power of metaphor and the power of story. And so what I do is I help remind them that all stories, all great stories, point to the true story, and that is the story that we are in. Acts chapter 2342 or whatever it is. There was no the end on the book of Acts. That's the story we are in. We are writing the story of the growth of the church and Christ's body here on this earth. It's a powerful, exciting story. And actually, I choose using epic myth adventure fantasy story because I see the book of Acts, the Bible, the true story that we are in, like an epic adventure story that is filled with supernatural components like a fantasy story. When we look at what happens with Jesus and his disciples, and then he says, go not just talk about me, but do what I did. Go make more disciples who don't just talk about me. They need to do that. We need to do that. But we also need to do what I did. And we see Peter and Paul and Philip and all these apostles and the ones that aren't even written about, the legacy of the church doing what Christ did. Actually, Jesus even commissions them and says, you will not only do the works that I do, but you will do greater things than these. That is an invitation to an exciting adventure. And so I think teacher-to-teacher tip, the ending of this is to help students understand Christianity is exciting, it's alive, it's filled with life and vitality and adventure and the supernatural, that students are powerful, that they're on this journey, and it's an important journey. We are at war, our battle is not flesh and blood, but we are at war, we are equipped for the journey, we are sent out, we are called out, we are led out on this exciting adventure. For Christ and his kingdom, further up and further in.